2 teams are headed to Atlanta. 4 players are heading to Cooperstown. Is the government shutdown really helping out alcoholics? The Main Event Podcast is coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Main Event.
He requested this on his reservation.
Let's hear it. Yes, this is the best fucking hotel ever.
We have him sitting on the nightstand. Yeah. And he just, when you move through,
She not even ask. She just left it there.
that's awesome.
This is the best hotel ever.
And welcome to the Main Event Podcast. Chris Carlo and Steve McCullum.
Hello, all.
And that was a clip. That was actually a clip. Well, you didn't send it to me yesterday. You sent me another clip. But underneath that clip was that clip of a guy who I guess has been requesting Booker T, a picture of Booker T at every hotel he goes to. And some hotel finally did it, and the guy was elated. Just overfilled with joy. Like, that's the weirdest request ever, right?
What hotel was it?
I don't know the name.
They didn't say?
No, it just had the guys like, I've been requested this, and this is the happiest day of my life. And she's like, here's your special request, sir. It's just a framed picture of the 5-time WCW champion, Booker T. And he was so excited. I figured we'd throw that in there because it's Royal Rumble week.
Okay. I feel like that was a joke, and then the guy got... The joke was like paid off, and now he's all, oh, what do I do now? Right?
I don't know. I mean, he sounded, I mean, he was a brother. He was a black guy, you know, probably big Booker T fan. Harlem Heat, back in the day.
So you can request weird things like I can request green M&M's at a hotel.
Apparently. I mean, whether or not hotels do it,
Yeah.
that's on them.
But they do have that special requests box that says we do our best to fulfill these, but not guaranteed. So I'm like, that's a good idea. I'm gonna start trying that. I'm gonna get B. Arthur. I'm gonna ask for a photo of B. Arthur.
Oh, Count Basie. Give me a good Count Basie photo.
That was an Airheads reference, by the way, Jason. B. Arthur. Naked picture of B. Arthur. Airheads.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the movie. Okay. Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler.
Okay. For those of you that didn't get it, go watch Airheads. Naked pictures of B. Arthur. It's kind of a funny joke.
Well, I don't want a naked picture of Count Basie. I just want the Count Basie.
That's just interesting. Isn't that amazing about the internet, though? Because I do that all the time. I'll click on one video and watch it, and I'll be, that's lame. And then you scroll down to the related videos, and you find like gems. I'm always sending them to you.
My legs always fall asleep on the toilet because I'm always just bent over like looking at videos.
Was that off of the Irish one?
Yeah, so it was off of the Irish one that you sent me.
Yeah, see, I didn't scroll down on that one. That one was so long, I just watched that one, so... It's over.
What the heck is this? It's like guys are requesting a Booker T photo at every hotel for the last 3 years and finally gets it.
Did they print it out on the hotel? He didn't show the picture, did he?
No, yeah. So she came at him with the picture, and she's like, it was the lady that worked there. She's like, hey, wait, we got your special request, sir. And this is the picture of Booker T.
That's funny. They probably just like were laughing about it behind the deal, you know, and they're like, I bet you nobody's done this. Let's do it. That's hilarious.
That is.
Good for them. I'd stay at that hotel if they advertised. I would travel to that place just to check into that hotel because they did that. They didn't say where it was?
No. I'm assuming it might be Booker T's from like the Houston area. So it might be somebody that knows like Booker T, like, oh yeah, I know 5-time WCW champ.
I was thinking like a small town, like, yeah, so if he's from like Mississippi or something, you know, it'd be someplace in Mississippi that he like lives there or something. I could see that, you know. But I don't see him like checking into California and San Francisco and they're like, here's your Booker T picture.
There you go, sir. Just put it on your nightstand.
Right?
It's not even an autograph, it's just a picture. Like, I don't know. It's just
that's what I wanted to do.
I just want a picture of Booker T staring at me while I sleep.
Somebody's got a color printer in their office and they're okay, I want a picture of Booker T. I'll look him up. Prints it out. They have an they knock out the the frame of the owner or somebody. The kids put it in the frame real quick, hand it to the guy. That's pretty funny. I don't know. I enjoy it.
But we are the Main Event Podcast. Jason Carter, Steve McCullum. You can follow us on Twitter at the Main Event Pod. Also follow me at JasonCarter03 on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Follow Steven at
SMac500.
And if you still use Facebook, you can go hit us up at the Main Event Podcast. So,
are we back on the don't use Facebook thing?
Oh no. Was there ever a thing?
Yeah, a lot of people quit Facebook because they steal your everything, Jason. They know everything about you.
I know the new year, a lot of people are getting rid of whatever social media, so.
Oh, yes.
Whatever they want to get rid of, I don't know.
Of all, like Facebook, as I digress here, because I have an important thing PSA here.
PSA.
Yeah, Facebook steals all your stuff, but Twitter is the scourge of the universe. Like, even people you follow and like yell at you on Twitter.
Emails, though, are starting to creep up on you now. Because I remember yesterday, I was sitting there, I was like, man, I just mentioned so-and-so, and then all of a sudden I get an email from StubHub about this thing that I had no interest in going to.
What was that, too? That was something weird.
Something weird concert. Like,
it was.
I've never had interest in doing this. I just mentioned it.
What really happened, everybody, is Jason was looking up the next Brony convention, and he wanted to keep it quiet, and then he started getting emails about him. So, he doesn't want anybody to know that. So anyway.
Moving on, we have two teams that are getting ready to play tomorrow or this Sunday in the Pro Bowl. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, in Orlando. Let's do it.
Here's what I know about the Pro Bowl. Patrick Peterson's in it because the Cardinals keep sending me videos of Patrick Peterson and other players talking. And I don't know any of the other players because when they're just in like a pullover jersey with long hair and you can't see the name on the back, and a number, I don't know who the heck they are because I don't even know who got voted in. There you go. There's my Pro Bowl synopsis for everybody.
Yeah, you really don't know like other players outside your own, really, right? I mean, there's a select few that you go, oh, hey, there's so and so. But if like somebody from like the Steelers walked in, like some lineman came in,
yeah, so,
the Circle K, I'd be like, dude, somebody like, oh my god, there's so and so, like some big Steelers fans, like, oh.
So so the Cardinals sent out this video the first day, and Patrick Peterson's talking to obviously a defensive lineman because he walked over to him with the line. And they're like, hey man, how's your family, whatever. And I'm like, great, I'd like to know who that guy is. It was just a number, it said Pro Bowl on the front. It was just a number. He had long hair, so it covered up his name on the back, and I had no idea who the guy was. At no point in time do I know who the left defensive tackle or defensive end is that Patrick Peterson was talking to in that video. It just cracks me up how, and that's why football players, always try to distinguish themselves on that stuff. It's because you don't know who they are because they have helmets and everything. But other than that, I know nothing about the Pro Bowl other than there's a lot of people in Minnesota this week that were upset that no Minnesota Vikings got elevated in when the Super Bowl teams were announced. And the Saints got a bunch of guys like Kamara got in.
Yeah, they always pull the playoff teams.
Yeah, Saints got, and a lot of the Vikings fans were a little upset. Some of their players didn't get promoted up. So, because obviously the Rams players can't go, Gurley and those guys. So, other than that, I know nothing about the Pro Bowl, and I also know I will not be watching it.
What kind of degenerate bets on the Pro Bowl?
A lot of degenerates.
I probably would if I was like around the sports boat.
What would you bet though?
I mean, what are the Pro Bowl props? Like somebody gets tackle hard?
Exactly.
A quarterback takes a sack? Like, come on.
Right. Well, I'm sure they take sacks because they go down on their own. Right?
A block kick.
Yeah, I literally have no. I mean, you could guess you got voted in because it's always the stars, but like who's the punter in the Pro Bowl this year? You actually usually hear the punter that gets in.
The punter. I punted a lot.
The reason I know who the punter usually is because it was usually Andy Lee, who's now with the Cardinals, because he was in San Francisco, and he was always the one San Francisco player voted in when they were really bad. Other than that, I have no idea.
NFL Pro Bowl punters.
No.
Let's take a look here. You got me curious now. You got me curious.
Everybody. Jason's curious.
You got me curious. NFL reveals the rosters for the Pro Bowl. This is probably old, so I don't know. I mean, does the punter get changed? Do they ever?
No, it was like the same. It was like Andy Lee for like 100 years. It felt like.
3 days ago, this is the more up-to-date article right here of what we have.
Yeah, if it's the punter from a team that went to the Super Bowl, it's just that. Some other punter gets to go.
I don't think the punter from a team goes to Super Bowl is going to make it because, I mean, usually have to punt a lot, right?
Oh, that is a good point.
Got to punt a lot. Let's see what they got. Oh, there we go. Special teams punter Michael Dixon from Seattle. Okay, he was on playoff team, so he's a pretty good punter actually.
Yeah, but Seattle did punt a lot. They weren't.
And then Jason Myers from the Jets. So that makes sense.
Well, good for Jason Myers of the Jets.
Oh, that's the kicker. Brett Kern from the Titans is the punter. Sorry.
Well, good for Brett Kearns. Good for you. Your family gets a all NFL paid vacation in Orlando.
Pat Mahomes, Phillip Rivers are the quarterbacks.
Oh, well, shocker.
Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson actually took over for Rivers and Brady, who can't participate.
Well, Rivers can. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Like when it was in Hawaii, they all accepted it, and they all went, and then they didn't decide not to play like late, just so they could get the free trip. Now in Orlando, they declined early. God, man, that'd be an expensive trip for Phillip Rivers because they pay for the players obviously, and I think the spouses. But man, for him to take his 12 kids. Dude, Disney World.
And that's what I hate. So, like the 3 quarterbacks that get it go for the NFC, they had, Russell Wilson's going, Mitch Trubisky, and Dak Prescott. I hate when, like, people are like, well, Dak Prescott, he was a Pro Bowler, too, of his first 3 years. Like, he's a effing replacement.
He still gets his bonus.
I don't know. Well, I hate when, don't, like, throw that at me when it comes to, like, his stats.
Is he a Pro Bowler or is he not?
I guess.
He's going. Is he there? Is he in Orlando?
He's in Orlando.
Is he at Pro Bowl facilities participating? Because I can go to Orlando and say I'm a Pro Bowler right now if I wanted to.
He was in Vegas last week, but he's in Orlando this week.
They do have planes, Jason. They get you from point A to point B.
That is correct.
Just so you know.
So that's enough Pro Bowl talk forever. Anyway, Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
We're a week out. I know you got some stuff to say. You're these egregious calls going on.
Egregious
calls.
So how do you feel about let's start with the AFC Championship game. Chiefs
and Patriots. Went to overtime. Just the game overall.
Yeah, just what you're.
That's a good game. I mean, back and forth there. Late in the fourth quarter, those teams just started to wake up and score a lot. And
they scored 38 points in the third quarter.
Yeah,
38.
They just went to town.
Which last time they met earlier in the season, they only scored 30 in the third quarter, so they upped themselves.
But the score was lower in this game than it was in the regular season game.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was bad at the beginning in terms of thing. So, the controversy in this game, because we got to have controversy, is the overtime rules in this game. How do you feel about the playoff overtimes, Jason? Because everybody this week has been talking about it.
I'm not a fan of the playoff overtime. I think both teams need a possession. Not a deal, need a possession. The last 3 years, the league MVP, I'm counting Patrick Mahomes as league MVP, did not get a chance to play on offense in their overtime playoff games. And I think that's just, that's sad for the league.
You know what the naysayers say, Jason?
You
have to be able to stop them.
Yeah, well, you also have to win a coin toss?
I know.
You should be able to call heads or tails?
So, well, that's my argument on the you have to stop them crowd is that the league is skewed to offensive points now. Like, they've made the rules so the offense scores easier now. So if you're going to make the offense easier to score and change the rules to that, you also need to change the rules of overtime to compensate. Because to be honest with you, in the NFL, when you get the ball in any situation, you're expected to score some points. The rules are set up that way. Especially high-powered professional playoff teams are made to score those ways. So you need to change the overtime rule. I don't know what the change would be. I like this. You have to keep the sudden death aspect, especially in football. Every sport has a sudden death aspect in an overtime. Well, except for soccer now. They actually changed their rules. But hockey has a sudden death, deal in overtime. Basketball doesn't because you really can. First team to score in basketball, that'd be funny.
Right.
But So you have to keep that, but you do have to change the rules to not favor one team's offense because of the coin flip. I did like the rule that somebody said earlier in the week that it would be nice if they did it to where the game just continued at the end of the half. So that way you just keep playing. So whoever has the ball going, because that would actually put pressure on you. If you have a 57-yard field goal to kick, you have a decision to make. Do you kick the field goal and try it, or do you keep trying to drive down the field to score after that, and then it'd be sudden? I'd be okay with that rule, because the problem seems to be with the argument, right, is the coin flip. So you need to get rid of the coin flip.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way. I don't know what to do it. I just think, given both possessions, like, keep the coin flip, just give them both possessions.
Yeah, I think the argument from everybody, from that I've been reading and hearing about and complaining about. But isn't it funny how, like, it's funny, everybody has these sides. So every time there's an overtime game, half the crowd complains about the rules of overtime. And we're talking playoff overtimes, not regular season. Because regular season overtime, you have to end the game early. Because you can't have teams playing overtime for hours in basically, I know it's meaningful, but in basically a meaningless regular season game. However, you need to have some excitement here in the playoffs, so...
Yeah, I mean, I totally think you do have to have the excitement level and everything. And like you said, regular season, I always can't have these guys play. I mean, do ties suck? Yeah, ties suck. Does one crowd always want to change? Yeah, they do. The crowd that doesn't want to change is usually the crowd that wins the game. So Patriots fans are saying, hey, you know what? We've benefited the last couple of years off these overtime rules, so let's keep them. But I do think NFL, something needs to get looked at to where they do have more than just one possession. Like, give the other team at least a fighting chance or something.
All right, so we'll bring that up here on the next talk of the next game. But so you're okay with the way that game went and everything?
Yeah, okay. Overall, I mean, obviously, the rule is the rule. I mean, is what it is. It's not changed yet. So,
all right, we won't even bring up officiating in this game. So we'll go to the next game and bring up officiating.
I mean, the call was a little low blow. Hey, but it is Tom Brady, so I guess he gets those calls.
Okay, are you talking about the roughing call?
Yeah, the roughing call.
I understand why that was called, though. So, horrible call. But the ref that needs to make that call, and the ref that's is made to make that call, is standing behind Tom Brady. He has a horrible angle at that. I can completely see how he thinks. Here's the other side of it, though, is you're not supposed to throw a flag unless you see the penalty. So unless you see him physically get hit in the head, you cannot throw the flag. That ref could not see whether he got hit in the head or in the shoulder, and he threw the flag anyway. Because the NFL has conditioned these referees to throw the flag in certain times, no matter what you see or anything, and then they just tell them to do it. If you think you see it, throw it. But that's not what the rule is, and that's what's egregious about it.
I didn't like it. Magnitude of the game, all that stuff, and you weren't sure. So yeah, I didn't like that.
If you don't see it, don't throw the flag. It's that simple. But those things happen every day. You have to overcome them. That didn't affect that game. I mean, the penalties affect the games, but they have time to recover. They have time to stop them still, and all that good stuff. Okay.
So, the Rams punched their ticket to the Super Bowl. So we're ready for Patriots-Rams Super Bowl.
And tickets are plummeting, and it's going to be the worst rated Super Bowl on the face of the planet. The worst rated Super Bowl.
So there was a no call. A big no call in that game.
We're going right to that.
Well, I mean, what else is there to really talk about that game?
Sarcastic.
We could talk about how...
Well, we could talk about how Jared Goff got face mask in the third quarter, and they didn't call it. We could talk about what all the Rams fans and all the Patriots fans are saying. Oh, well, here's the 9 non-calls against the Rams, because somebody actually went back through the film and found every non-calls on the Rams players, and they were like, see, it happens to both sides, everybody.
We could talk about how Sean Payton didn't run the ball, too. I mean, We could talk.
No, Sean Payton not running the ball is completely different than people actually saying that a face mask call on third down that they could have extended their drive and scored in the third quarter. There's plenty of time to recover from that bad call. Plenty of time. You know when there's not time to recover from, Jason? When there's 2 minutes left and you make this beautiful play call and the Rams defender completely rapes the guy on the sideline. 3 refs are standing there looking at it and nobody throws a flag because we don't want to. Oh, we all saw that, but we don't want to throw the flag on that egregious. NFL is all about what, Jason? Right now, what are they about? Player safety.
Safety.
All the NFL does, and the referees tell it. Tom Brady got a flag for getting hit in the shoulders. Why, Jason?
Because of safety.
Player safety. Cornerback for the Rams launches himself directly into the helmet of a Saints wide receiver, running down the sideline with 2 minutes to go. That would have given the Saints the first down call, and they would have been able to run the ball 3 times and kick a field goal to win it. And what don't we call, Jason? Player safety. All of a sudden, it's okay for players to get hit in the head. I'm not upset about anything other than the fact that quit feeding me the line of bullshit, the NFL, about player safety. Stop feeding me how we got to care about our players. We got to call these egregious hits to the shoulder because, God forbid, a player has dementia 20 years from now. And when you let that play go, that is egregious. That is ridiculous. That is Shanagary.
Show what? Show what? Shanagary? Shanagary.
I'm trying to make up words now. It didn't go very well. It's just horrible. Quit feeding me. If I see one more article about player safety from Peter King, Mr. NFL, who sucks the teat of the NFL all the time. If I see one more article about player safety and how we got to protect these players from themselves because we need to throw flags, even if we're not sure if it's a defenseless receiver, even if, oh my God, that guy launched into him. We need to call targeting on that. I swear to God, I see one more article about that, or I see one more call about that, I'm just going to explode. Because that play is going to go on the video for next year on what is a penalty for targeting. I guarantee it, it's going to show up, and the Saints are going to have to sit there and watch the NFL tell them this is targeting this year, guys. We're going to call this play right here. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Shanagary is a village on the East Coast.
See, I knew it was something.
Country Cork in Ireland.
It's something.
I guess that's how you spell Shanagary. I'm not too sure how you spell your made-up words.
I don't know. Yeah,
that looks about right.
Scott, even when I try to make up a word, it's already out there.
It's already out there.
It's just,
I don't think that's used in your definition, though. So you want,
I was totally referring to that. The refs need to go to there.
You need to go Shanagary, Ireland.
So the synopsis I have on this is bad calls happen every game. You have to overcome them. But rarely does a bad call affect the end of a game where a team literally can win the game with that call. That's what's upsetting about it. That's why everybody's focusing on it. So Rams fans and everybody that tweeted me all week about Jared Goff's face mask in the third quarter where it would have given the first down, they could have scored a touchdown on that play. Nobody cares because you got to overcome that. You have time to overcome it. Yeah, and everybody that goes, yeah, but they had overtime to overcome it, Steve. They would have won the game if that call was played. There's no way the Rams would have gotten the ball back. There's nothing the Rams could have done to get the ball back except recover a fumble. They would have won the game. That is the difference between this call. For all you people out there, mistakes happen. This was egregious because it cost the Saints the game. The tuck rule... for all you people saying, oh, the tuck rule. The tuck rule was a rule that was actually called properly. Quit whining about it.
The tuck rule.
For everybody that whines about some pass interference call in the third quarter, you have time to overcome that bad call. And bad calls go both ways. Isn't it funny how all the Rams fans and the Patriots fans that were tweeting me all week, they all kept pointing out the bad calls against the Rams and then going, oh, see, it happens against both teams. Well, I can also point out the 14 bad calls against the Saints the rest of the game. You know why nobody's doing that, everybody? Nobody's doing that because there was only one call, and it wasn't even a bad call. You know what? It wasn't even a missed call. For those of you that call it a missed call, it wasn't even a missed call. It was a blatant thing that the refs decided not to throw the flag. They didn't miss it. They didn't do anything. They chose. 3 referees looking at that play chose to not bring out the laundry and throw it on the field. That is egregious. The NFL, you know how bad it is? The NFL hasn't even spoke about it yet. The NFL is not going to speak about it. You know why they're not? They don't want to talk about it because they know that it's bad. And that's why they're staying quiet about it. Roger Goodell, any other week, a bad call happens, what happens, Jason?
They come out, they speak, they drop the little thing. little,
They
hey guys,
comment
look
about
at the
it.
NFL. You know what? We're sorry that happened.
Yeah. Has anybody heard a peep from anybody in the NFL other than the stories you hear where they talk to Sean Payton directly? Anybody hear it? Roger Goodell, Al Rivera, officiating? Anybody? Nope. That tells you how bad it was, and the NFL wants this to go away, and they're not going to comment about it, because if they comment about it, it brings it right back up again. And I can't wait for Goodell's state of the thing. And it's, well, they're only going to allow 1 or 2 questions about it, but it's horrendous. It actually, so, I mean, there's so many angles you can take on this, Jason. Imagine that happening in Las Vegas for a Raiders game. You know it's going to happen. You know a bad call that's not only going to sway the betting line, because this did. Sportsbooks are giving money back because it was so bad and swayed the betting line, and people lost because of it. So it's not a bad beat. Everybody's like, oh, a bad call always happens on bad. No, this was different bad call, everybody. This was completely different. Show me another bad call. When was T.O.'s non-catch in the end zone? Was that late in the game?
I don't remember.
Yeah, see, nobody remembers that. I don't know if it was late in the game or what, but for some reason, I think that it wasn't. You know, they had it was in the fourth quarter, but they had a chance to still come back and do whatever. Like, they had plays after that that could have been ran or whatever. This one literally is a call that wasn't called on purpose, where the game would have been over. And that's the point. I don't ever remember a game ever. I don't remember the TO one. And nobody's talking about it on there. But can you imagine something like this happening in Las Vegas, of all places, where the refs stayed for a couple days, and then they choose not to throw a flag on such an obvious play that even non-football fans that were watching that game saw it? Could you imagine the outrage?
Crucified.
So the NFL has a serious problem here, perception-wise, that, I mean, the NBA went through this with Tim Donaghy. What's the number one complaint about NBA? The refs influence the game late. Right?
They do.
They swallow their whistles all freaking game, and then the last 2 minutes, they either make 1,000 foul calls to influence it, or they don't, right? So you do not want to be known. And the NFL and the NBA has worked hard to make sure that their refs are not accused of that stuff anymore. When was the last time you heard of a ref fixing, not just casually, like not actually fixing it like Donaghy did, but when was the last time you heard somebody complain about an NBA game coming down to the refs? It's been forever.
There's probably always somebody that complains about it.
Yeah, but I'm talking like widespread. I mean, the Lakers Kings back in the day when Shaq was around is the obvious example. You don't have anything like that happen anymore. The NBA stopped it. The NBA got ahead of it. They stopped it. Whatever. And the NFL is dangerously going with all these judgment calls, all these things where, and now that you're allowing sports gambling into this, you're going to see people are laughing at these lawsuits right now, and these lawsuits might not work, but you're getting to the point where you're gonna get a lot of people and a lot of lawsuits over this, because if you give the perception you're fixing games or somebody on the field is fixing a game, that's a whole nother level here. You know, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, you know that. I'm the first one to be like, yeah, you gotta overcome it. And for me to sit here and say that was the worst perception thing on the face of the planet for that happened to the NFL. And then the silence. They needed to get out in front of it, and they wouldn't. I mean, even the Rams player got fined $26,000 for helmet to helmet. How do you fine a guy? Like, I get why, because they fine people all the time for non-penalties. But how do you fine a guy when you had 3 refs that were like, oh, that, you know, I'm not going to throw a flag on that.
We didn't see it there, huh? That's weird. You know? Tape evidence.
It's just horrible. And I'm not a fan of going to instant replay for pass interference flags. I'm not a fan of that. Like, mistakes happen. Those are judgment calls. 90% of the pass interference, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, the guy did it. Some of them,
a
you're like,
little push and tugging. You know, like, hey,
but you have to have a system to protect the league in those situations. This is a protect the league issue I'm taking here, not the team winning. It could have gone the other way. I'm not upset that the Saints lost on that fashion. I'm not a Saints fan. I'm not a Rams fan. Would I rather see the Saints win? Yes. But no matter who this went against, you have to have, especially in the play. Regular season, fine. Don't have anything. But the playoffs, that happens. Here's the other thing. NFL. Let me give you some more advice because I'm on this rant. It's been a week. Everybody's still talking about it, and I'm still ranting about it. Get rid of the all-star crews in the playoffs. Get rid of them. They don't work well together. They don't work together all year. How many times in the regular season, Mr. Carter, do you see a ref throw a flag and you see 3 refs or 4 refs, all the refs, get together and discuss it?
Oh, one time this year because the All-Star crew at the Rams-Chiefs game, Monday Night Football game.
Well, it happens all the time. What didn't you see in this game at all?
Referees huddling up together?
No. All 3 referees that saw that, like I saw the reverse angle from some dude in the crowd, and it's actually is more eye-opening, is all 3 refs looked at each other, and they're not going to overrule each other. They're on the same team. They're the referees. They're on the same team. Some would argue they're on the Rams team. But
good jersey exchange afterwards.
Get rid of yeah, good job. Way to be smart, girly, by the way, on that one.
And Mark Francesca, you dumbass.
I know. So
$3 million to believe that's real. Jeez.
So get rid of the all-star crews. They don't work well together. They don't want to talk and discuss things because they're there. So if all 3 of those refs would have gotten together, discussed it, and then decided not to throw a flag, fine. We're cool with it. But all 3 refs sat there and stared at each other, and there's actually video of one ref looking at another ref and shook his head no. And it almost looks like the guy was going to throw his flag.
Like, don't you do that to me.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy at all, but it's a perception issue at this point where that looks pretty shady on there. So anyway, the NFL has to fix it. Get rid of the all-star crews in the playoffs. Like, I get it. You want to promote the refs that, the line judge that did a great job. Go off of crews. You need crews that work together. You need crews that are familiar with each other. You need crews that can sit and talk to each other and solve things. Here's the more important thing. Every crew calls every game differently, right? Like, one crew has, like, Ed Hockley's son. Sorry, I don't know your name. You're going to be Ed Hockley's son to me. His crew threw the second most flags of any NFL crew this year. So one of his linemen, it wasn't this game, but one of his line judges is actually in the all-star crew for another team. So that guy throws more flags than any of the other guys on his team. It screws up the game, right? And they don't work well together. They don't flow together, things like that. Have the crews earn it and go. Get rid of the all-star. Get rid of them. Make this on the up and up. Let's do it right. And they make the referees available afterwards. Either make him be available on camera, because Major League Baseball, you can request the umpires. It's not on camera, but the pool reporters can request the umpires to talk about decisions and stuff, and they have to do it. The NFL either needs to do it where they need to have them talk on camera so it can be explained, or not have them talk at all. Because the head referee in that game, after the game, told some pool reporters separately. And the context on this is what's big. The reason why I say on camera is because we would be able to see his face and his reaction. Because what he said was, I did not see the play. I did not review the play. It was their call, basically, is what he said. And I want to see what his face looks like when he says that. Because, one, is he lying? 2, is he just stupid and doesn't know what's going on out there? I want to see his body reaction when he talks like that. Because how does he not review the biggest play? And you can't tell me he didn't know it was a big play, because everybody on the Saints sideline lost their shit.
Everyone. Crowd included.
Sean Payton told the referee on his sideline that was a Super Bowl blown call right there. All right. So now we're stuck with the worst. Oh, that was some anger there. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was anger.
Some lifesavers just exploded. So now we're stuck with the worst Super Bowl in history. Are we talking about that later? Are we going on to another?
Yeah, we're talking about that later. We got like 5 minutes here. We got MLB Cooperstown, man. We got important stuff to get to. We got players inducted into the greatest Hall of Fame. Well, what was once the greatest Hall of Fame. Clemens and Bond still getting screwed. But anyways, I digress. Mariano Rivera, the first unanimous player to get voted into the MLB Hall of Fame. Exciting.
Is it?
Oh, like Mario Arena. So he got 100% of the votes, 425 votes to be exact. First year on the ballot. Roy Halladay, 363 votes, 85.4%. His first year, he's in. Rest in peace, Roy Halladay. Edgar Martinez, 10th year on the ballot, gets in with 85.4%. He too, like Roy Halladay, got 363 votes. And Mike Mussina comes in 76.7% of the votes, which is barely over the 75% cut line. 326 votes is what he got his 6th year on the ballot. He is in. Players missing it on his 6th year, Kurt Schilling. On his 7th year, Roger Clemens. On his 7th year, Barry Bonds, who got 59.1% of the votes. So the votes are starting to get up there. Still needs about 15.9% more to make it. Larry Walker. Kind of surprised Larry Walker's not in yet. So, he's been on the ballot for 9 years. Omar Vizquel, Fred McGriff, Manny Ramirez, his 3rd year, only got 22% of the votes.
Yeah, Manny's not getting in until Bonds and Clemens get in. So
Andy Pettit, his 1st year on the ballot, got 9% of the votes. And Sammy Sosa, 8.5.
yeah, Sammy's not a Hall of Famer. Steroids are not.
Yeah, the home runs probably better.
So this is the year where... So this guy on Twitter, I'll preface this by saying, this guy on Twitter, a baseball writer, goes out there and says that... Oh, he's not a Hall of Fame voter, but he goes out and says that he will never vote for a reliever for the World Series, for the Hall of Fame, because they don't pitch that often. So I had said to you when he announced it, I was like, so the first unanimous baseball player is a reliever. Like, that's just insulting. I get that he's supposedly the best reliever of all time. I remember a couple big blown saves, being from Arizona. I remember a particularly big one in Game 7 of the 2001 World Series. So, I mean, he's great. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. But a reliever becomes the first unanimous. Like, all this huff and puff, that just tells you that the old-time baseball people that voted for Hall of Fame are dying off and they're not voting anymore.
Thank God.
Because it's changing. But this is the year of the reliever and the designated hitter getting into the Hall of Fame, which is just
the
ridiculous.
old DH getting in. Oh, Edgar. I mean, Edgar was good for the game, though. He played a little first base, too, there every now and then.
DH and reliever is headlining this Hall of Fame class.
Well, some other guys could have headlined it, but there are still some old-ass writers out there, old trustees, who don't believe Barry Bonds should be in yet.
So Mussina is going in without a team, by the way. He's going logo-less.
Yeah, I was wondering who... he's not going Orioles?
No, the headline is he's going in whatever list. Yeah, I don't even know who else he played for. I just know he played for the Orioles.
He played for the Yankees a bit there.
But I guess that's my bigger thing. His quality years were Orioles, right?
He says both the Yankees and Orioles were instrumental in my reaching Cooperstown. Messina said in a statement, he's like, I'm proud to play for these great organizations in front of tremendous fans in Baltimore and New York, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to represent them both in the Hall of Fame.
I thought they didn't have a choice. I thought... Because there was talk when Randy Johnson went in that they might give him they might have
no, the player gets the choice of who they want to be inducted in. So also going with no logo, obviously, is Roy Halladay, who passed away. Spent the majority of his career in Toronto before going to the Phillies.
Yeah, but and I remember him more as the Phillies. Like, he dominated more in the Phillies, right?
Well, he was more mainstream because they made the playoffs.
That's
Toronto,
what I mean.
He was a beast.
Okay, so that's what it is. Because I just remember him being in Philly and being a shutdown guy in Philly more than I do in Toronto, obviously. So, yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. It's underwhelming. Bonds and Clemens is going to get in before Bonds, if not the same year, because I think the New York media is going to push Clemens over the top, and the Boston media. Two big major markets there are going to push Clemens in first of the quote unquote steroid guys, but they're both getting in. Sosa's never getting in. McGuire's never getting in. They're not Hall of Famers to begin with. Clemens and Bonds are Hall of Famers. They just have to get their punishment or whatever for a few years before they get it.
And also being voted in by the Veterans Committee is Lee Smith and Harold Baines.
Harold Baines?
Yes, Harold Baines.
Really? Interesting. That was before my time. I mean, that was way before my time.
Harold Baines wasn't before your time.
Yeah, it was pretty much before my time. Seattle, right?
He was. He finished his career out in 2001. You're thinking of Harold Reynolds.
Oh, am I? Oh.
You're thinking of the guy who talks on
Oh.
on MLB Network.
Well, I don't know who Harold Baines is, so there you go.
Harold Baines with the White Sox started his career off for 8 years. Then he kind of platooned around there. His last 11 years or so was Texas for a bit, White Sox, Oakland, Toronto, Baltimore, White Sox, Oakland, Baltimore, Toronto, Cleveland, Baltimore,
Oh my
Texas,
God.
Chicago.
That goes on for 2 pages.
Yeah, 1980 to 2001, man. 22 years in the league.
A Hall of Famer played on that many teams, huh? Interesting.
Played on 14 years with the White Sox in total, 7 with Baltimore, 3 with Oakland, 2 with Texas, 1 with Cleveland.
Wow. Nothing like teams wanting you as a Hall of Famer, right?
Exactly. Closed his career out with 2,866 hits. So yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not an all-star. I'm not a Hall of Fame guy anyway. Like, I don't watch a lot of it, but it's an underwhelming year. Let's put it that way. Underwhelming year.
Speaking about watching the Hall of Fame, this year in the 10-year history that the MLB Network has done the Hall of Fame voting on TV, most people watched it this year. So I think a lot of Yankee fans knew Mariano was going in. They just wanted to see what the votes were. And
yeah, it's like in the NFL when Brett Favre was up. You knew he was going in. So I mean, he was going in. It was a question if it would be unanimous or not. And isn't there only like 104? There's very few Hall of Fame voters. It's not as many as you think there are for baseball, right?
400 and what did I say? 400.
Oh, is there that many?
Yeah. 425.
So no big signings yet this year in baseball yet this week.
No big signings yet.
White Sox are on the edge of their seat. We thought we had a guest today to talk about how excited he is that Machado is going to the White Sox. He's convinced of it.
No guest for this show, but there will be a Royal Rumble preview with myself and Adam Michaels this week because he's in town for the Rumble. We'll give you a preview show. Kick that out for all you wrestling fans out there. Wrestling.
Great.
Wrestling.
Great.
Well, you gotta listen. Jeez. So the government shutdown, Steve, it's a thing. It's been going on. It's doing its deal. And now it's it's really starting to hit home. It's really starting to hit me right in the feels. Starting to affect small businesses. Breweries across the land cannot get their license because of the government shutdown, trying to send in their paperwork to the tobacco and beer, wherever the heck they send it to get the approval for it. The liquor license and all that stuff.
Is it the FDA? I imagine Food and Drug Administration.
Like yeah. Right now it's just sitting on their desk, man. And this is not good, especially when you have a total of 97 breweries that shut down last year, and these new breweries want to pick up the slack. So a couple of guys in North Richland Hills, Texas, actually made some beer, decided it was good beer, said, hey man, let's go all in here, let's make a brewery. They built their brewery, they got a little space where they can do their brewery building, started pumping out some beers. They're like, all right, let's send this paperwork in, let's get some logos on these bottles, and let's go all in. Well, for the last month and a half,
yeah,
they've been
bad timing.
They've been waiting for the checks to cash because right now they cannot sell their beer.
But are we? I mean, if we didn't know it existed, are we upset about it? It's not like Budweiser or Coors Light is all of a sudden not able to produce, right?
I mean, there could be a time like when if their license did run out.
A company like that doesn't,
because you get like a 3-year run, 3-year deal.
But yeah.
So I mean, if you come into that, yeah. Well, we'll say like you hit it. All right, hey guys, license coming up. Let's get it. Oh, government shutdown. Hey guys, we got a week left and our license is out.
I guarantee you, Budweiser and Coors and all those people have people on staff that are insured to know those situations if they come up.
These are small town breweries, man. Small town breweries facing delays because of the
small
shutdown.
town brewery.
We got small business, man, in effect. Shop small. Shop local, y'all. Shop local.
So the NHL All-Star Games this weekend.
Is it still a 3-on-3 thing?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched it in years.
No.
I just thrown it out there.
No, yep, still a 3-on-3 tournament. 4th consecutive year.
No, good for them.
I tried to watch it the first year, fell asleep because I got tired of all the hoopla beginning.
Look at that.
The All-Star jerseys are sick.
They're putting the individual team logos on each jersey, but the
Black
colors
and
will be
white.
the same. The Golden Knight one that just popped up looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Looks a little Raiderish, though, so I'll give all the Raider fans something to buy in Vegas.
Besides Raider gear that they're combining right now.
Yep.
And it's in San Jose. That seems underwhelming also.
Gross.
So we have... So the thing... Tiger Woods is back this week. I don't know what he's doing today yet, but
Thursday, he underwhelmed.
What would he do yesterday?
I don't know. Did he make the cut?
I don't know.
I mean, he's pictured there on the round 3 update.
Yeah, my internet, whatever. Yeah, so I'm assuming he made the cut. We would have heard if he didn't. We got Royal Rumble in Phoenix tomorrow. I know you're looking forward to that. Hours and hours of grown men, slimy grown men wrestling on each other.
Slapping ass.
Yeah, well, that was last night. That was that guy last night.
I think I might actually take your daughter because she was having a hell of a time last night.
Dude. Isn't that
she
amazing?
Was all about the wrestling last night.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have her go instead of me.
Tiger Woods -4. So just 11 back. Rose is kind of walking away there, 15 back to start the day. Jeez.
And they're playing the North and South course, like they're alternating Thursday and Friday. And I can't remember. One of the courses is a lot harder than the other one, so that was the excuse for his Friday 2-under round. That wasn't that, but we need to stop the Tiger Woods talk.
Some days it's your day, some days it's not.
Or in Tiger Woods' case, it's never his day anymore. So yeah, okay. So in terms of Super Bowl, we'll obviously talk about that next week because we get closer to the game. We have the Waste Management Open coming up this week here, Jason.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about
coming?
Super Bowl. We got Waste Management Phoenix Open. We're going to let you know the best places to go get drunk.
Well, okay.
At the Open? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. whole whatever.
Yeah, whole. Is there a tit said whole? Yes.
Yes.
Is it like when is it going to come? Because I keep putting in these new tits now, man. Like, when's the point going to come where it's just every hole is just like enclosed, like where you can just walk scaffold to scaffold and go to every hole?
You can't do that because you need general admission.
Yeah,
still.
true.
So but 16 has general admission still. But I guess that's true. You could build. Like they do on 16, you have that general admission where people stand in that long ass line forever. Like, guys, 16's not that great. You don't need to stand. Like, it's fun and all, but you don't need to stand in a line for an hour and a half to get into it.
First off, the aura about 16 is going to get free booze, not waking up at 3 a.m, rushing at 5, to get your spot.
Well, no, the aura
and
is
then buying.
It's you can be seen and all that.
Yeah, but the free booze is where it's at. A lot better than pay for the booze.
And the food.
So we got that.
That's coming. We got Midland on Wednesday. I think we're gonna try to go to.
Yeah.
And then some band called Old Dominion. None of us care about. We're gonna look into that.
Don't care.
So we got busy time here in Phoenix.
Busy time in Phoenix. It's a great time. And then a week after that, we got a whole bunch of racing that we're going to be doing.
Yes. My tour.
So in a few weeks, the first Racing with Jason podcast of the year will be popping out. Got David Jones lined up. Ex-mod driver, won that Kyler Rapella Motorsports deal, so that'll be excited. A lot of people are like, who the hell's Kyler Rapella? And what is racing?
And then we got Daytona.
Daytona Day. Yay.
Coming out in a couple weeks. Somebody's not excited about it over here.
I'll be super tired because that's the day after the mod tour. That's after 10 days. We'll be like, literally just laying there like,
That's my birthday.
Birthday. Well, I guess we gotta get drunk.
I'm gonna go to Daytona.
Let's go.
Go to Daytona for my birthday.
Overnight from Tucson to Daytona.
So the question leading up this week for the Super Bowl is what's wrong with Todd Gurley? Because he still sucks. Your prediction of C.J. Anderson not doing well was a bomb, by the way.
Yeah, it happens.
McVay is 33 years old now, folks.
Can he take down the old bull? Do the Los Angeles Rams have better luck against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl than the St. Louis Rams did? Oh, the questions that are going to be asked next week on a very special episode of The Main Event.
Wow. Really quick, what is with other teams and other sports, like rooting for the team that win? It's like the Dodgers come out. Like, who claims the Rams, right? Because they play in the Coliseum. I guess it's closer to Dodger Stadium, but do they get claimed by the Dodgers or they get claimed by the Angels? Because the Dodgers claimed them and said congratulations.
Well, there you go.
I'm just curious.
Guess what, Angels? You're stuck with the
The
Chargers.
Chargers on that? Yeah. Come on, Angels. Who are you supporting in this Super Bowl? I hate when teams do that and they announce that stuff.
And then they switch to like logo or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of teams now are doing
The
those
colors.
like they're doing those like interpromotional deals. Like I saw a few teams last week had some baseball like deals are going on in some local hometowns. They're like, oh hey, tonight is Braves night here at the Thrashers game or whatever. So a lot of teams do that. But
I don't
it's
think
cool.
they do
I like
that
that
for colleges, but
bring the community together. Bring the community together. I like that. Anyways, guys, we will be back next week. Super Bowl predictions, Waste Management, Phoenix Open Talk, and so much more right here on the Main Event Podcast. Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless the troops, and God bless America.
see ya.